politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, even Angola, we will speak about it. We are on RealFM 91.9, YouTube and Facebook. And we encourage you to like and share our program and subscribe to RealFM. In that way, as soon as the program comes about, you will be notified. What we do on this program is to provoke discussion. And we encourage all and sundry to call. We want to provoke discussion. We are approaching 50 years of independence, and the government intends to celebrate it with a bang. And they intend to start on October 19, the most bloodiest day in Grenada history after slavery and colonialism. And nothing is wrong with that. That is their story. And when monkey writes a story, monkey always writes. But sometimes I believe at that issue it means that the government deliberately is trying to put the emphasis on the coup d'etat and the revolutionary experiment of 1979, October 19, 1983. The Prime Minister himself has said nothing has been achieved post-1983. So he sees the development of Grenada in that period of 1979 to October 19, 1983. And I ask the question, why did Maurice Bishop initiated the Angola option? A number of people have been asking, why was Maurice Bishop executed? I advance the view it was because Maurice Bishop initiated the Angola option. And once he did that, it was a game changer. The Angola option expedited the death of Maurice Bishop. Maurice Bishop, remember, Maurice Bishop was an orator. He could speak very well. By Grenadia's convention, tall, handsome man, fair. People love him. And he could speak. Maurice Bishop could make you cry when he speak, and he could make you laugh when he speak. He was that good. But he was a coward. Maurice Bishop was a coward. And he lied as well as he could speak. He was not a good manager. And maybe that is why the reason he took the route of initiating the Angola option. Once he did that, was a game changer. The opponents then feared the Angola option more than the bombs of the United States of America. And I believe that, more than anything else, was the reason for the demise of Maurice Bishop. He panicked. He was a coward. He lied to the Central Committee. He lied to the Politburo. He lied to the government, to the people of Grenada. All year round, he deceived the Rastafarians. He lied to them. And he deceived the Rastafarians. Throughout Maurice Bishop's history, you could go back and check the facts. He always hid behind women and children. Now, if you have a boat, yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes, caller, welcome.
What the program is all about? Is it all about Bishop or the development of Grenada?
Now, my program provoked discussion.
Well,
what we do on this program is to provoke discussion. We speak about topic no one dare to speak about.
But
We fear no subject matter.
what I'm saying, what the information, what I hear you saying, about Bishop this and Bishop that. Why those people and then when they pick them up and put them in prison, why don't they come out plain out and talk and say what they do and Bishop was wrong so they are too expensive?
I'll tell you why.
Now you saying all those things and them, all these things and them is malice and just.
Let me tell you why, caller.
Stop this thing, Christmas
Caller.
carol.
Caller, you must always face the truth.
That's not the truth. If I
So,
the truth, they would have freed those people and them
did
they would have
you-
put them in jail. They start talking the truth. That is not truth at all. Sorry, Mr. Pierre. Have a good day. Thank you.
Yes, whenever we speak about this topic, we have to be tolerant with callers because a lot of passion is evoked. Remember, you're speaking about somebody a lot of people love because he was a great orator and they don't want to accept the fact that he lied. And I'll give you some instances when the lies Maurice Bishop told resulted in people's incarceration. After the death, some people say it's an accident in the Holy Spirit, the village known as the Holy Spirit. Maurice Bishop obviously came up there to do damage control. And during that process, he lied to the Rastafarians. He tell them they could go and plant weed. About nine of them asked him question. He said, don't cut down your nutmeg and cocoa, but you could plant weed. As a result of that, one of the young Rasta man, they planted his weed, and another man stole his weed, so he went to the police station. He believed Maurice Bishop. Who would not believe Maurice Bishop then? And the magistrate gave him 2 years in jail. Maurice Bishop never intervened, never pardoned him, never rescued him. Remember, he promised the Rastafarians that he would legalize weed. And he came to the village and said to them, you could plant weed. Maurice Bishop said publicly, if he hear you spreading rumor, and you say they tell you, he locking up thee. The revolution, the experiment with the revolution, in prison and jailed 3,000 Grenadians. And 3,000 to 4,000 had to flee the country. And yet, some people want to hide this truth. And I say to you, if you don't believe what I'm saying about the revolution, anything you don't believe, what I say about the revolution, go and ask Tillman Thomas. He was a human rights lawyer. He was in jail too. Winston White. Well, Leslie Pierre is dead. Kennedy Budlal. Philip Skelly. Over 3,000 people was in prison. Maurice Bishop threatened the church and all. He was not a man who promoted religion or believed in religion. He was an atheist. He was a coward. He hid behind women and children. He lied to the Politburo. And he lied to the Central Committee. And upon all that, Maurice evoked the Angola option. And I believe that was the final straw that broke the camel back. That alone was so significant because these individuals who were students of Marxist-Leninism, they knew the history. They studied the revolution in the region and in Africa and the world. And they knew the significance and impact of the Angola option. So when Maurice initiated, that expedited his demise. We have to remember that history's monkey story. In the same way, the Europeans say that Columbus discovered Grenada and the rest of the Caribbean. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Something that people probably forget. At the first rally of the revolutionary government in Simon, immediately after the March 13 takeover, they openly said they found many albums with Gary and naked women. And they make the thing look so bad that Gary was abusing women. And they have the album. And they will show it to the public in due course. I remember I was there in this rally. I heard him saying so. Publish it that the albums are found in Mount Royal with naked women, nude, and in different actions. And they quietly mention a lot of people's names. That was rather embarrassing. Up to today, we have never seen the album. I've never heard about it again. But to me, the album was just a political ploy to tarnish the ousted Prime Minister, Eric Gary, from office. That, to me, is a disastrous behavior by any government to say things that were not true and to blemish people's name. And I remember, I don't know how many people remember it, but I do remember that.
Yes, scholar. Thank you and welcome. Some people afraid to talk about these issues. And I think it's so important that we hold discussion on these things. Because we are approaching 50 years of a celebration of independence. And it seems to me that one of the intentions is to clearly disregard the period before 1979. And the Prime Minister has said that nothing has been achieved after 1983. We must discuss this issue. Otherwise, history is going to tell you Columbus is a damn blasted liar. Years from now, we have to say to you that Maurice Bishop lied to the Grenadian people. He lied to the Politburo. He lied to the Central Committee. What was his justification in telling the Rastafarians lies? He jailed the Rastafarians and he treated them very, very, very badly without justification. They had so much hope because Maurice Bishop smoked weed with them. He ate ital food. He slept in the ghetto. And then he betrayed them. They joined up in droves. They held the AK. They showed for him. Then he sent the PRA in the woods to collect them. After they realized that he had deceived them, and some of them make for the woods, he sent the PRA. Sometimes they fired the guns. I don't think they fired to kill them. But Mackenzie got shot. One or two of them got shot. And they brought them in the cow pen. The Rastaman say it was the cow pen. But we say it is Hopeville. Just as China put the Uja people, they say it's Reformation School. You don't believe me? Go and speak to the Rastas. We have journalists in our country. Go and speak to the Rastas that was in Hopeville. Speak to the people of Monkridge and those from Tivoli. But Maurice Bishop continued his lies. And up to the last, he lied to the Central Committee. They caught him red-handed. His security said, "You send me to spread rumor. I told the cook what you tell me, but I did not go to Freedom Street to tell the individual in Freedom Street. I forgot the man in Freedom Street name. Call me and tell me who is the man in Freedom Street." And Maurice Bishop cowed down in front of the Politburo. He couldn't defend himself. He knew he initiated the Angola option. And yet, he hid behind children and women. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, you say Mr. Bishop tell lies and he was coward. But he bring a airport which is in Grenada, which is Point and Lane National Airport. But where is the gas what Kit Mitchell talk about 20 people and them in Paul's Airport?
Culture, you ever speak to the Rasta in Hopeville? He was a Rasta man too, Culture.
Mackenzie did not get shot by the police, yeah?
How did Mackenzie die?
Did not get shot by the police.
Culture.
Be careful, Mr. Pierre, this is Mackenzie did not get shot in the hands of the police and them. No guns did not lay on Mackenzie. No bullet, no trigger. Mackenzie did not get shot by the police because where he was, where was he? Mr. Pierre, get your fact before you come and talk about the Rastafarian and them. Get your fact.
Culture, man. Did the Rasta man...
Mackenzie did not get shot by the police because all of us was... Mr. Pierre.
Culture.
Mr. Pierre, get your fact.
Did we get his body to bury?
Mr. Pierre, you answer my question.
Culture, did you get Mackenzie's body to bury him?
No, but...
Culture. Tell us how he died.
Get shot by the police.
Tell us how he died.
No police did not shoot him.
The PRA, not the police. Tell us how he died. Tell us how he died.
Mr. Pierre,
tell us how he died.
But I'm just telling you, this is Mackenzie did not get shot by the police by the
Culture, you was in Hopeville.
The man did not get no shot
Culture.
by the PRA.
Were you in Hopeville, Culture?
No.
Culture, tell us who is it. Tell us who is the 3 children that they found in the woods.
People like all this was hiding. When things could have tried to settle, people like you and others pretending. Pretending. I was in here for almost years for the time the revolution started. We didn't run away from Pierre.
Were you in Hopeville, Culture?
Maurice Bishop? Get you facts. You want to say Mackenzie get shot by the PRA?
All right,
you answer me question, but Maurice Bishop was coward.
Culture.
Lies, but he bring all the national airport here with all the equipment on them. Where is them thing on them? The
Thank you.
on them. I mean, they say
Culture, you won't call back because you don't answer.
Get you.
Culture, you'll have to call me back and tell me if you got Mackenzie's body to be buried. Tell us if you was in Hopeville. Tell us who is the 3 children from your community that was abandoned in the woods because their parents was arrested and go to Hopeville. Culture, tell us who is the 3 children that was left in the woods. There was a neglect, abandoned because their parents was brought down in Hopeville. Tell us how Mackenzie died. Tell us how Broco was castrated. You say you was wrong. So tell us. St. Vincent have an international airport. St. Lucia had an international airport. Antigua had an international airport. And none of them jailed 3,000 people. So we have to ask ourselves, Did the ends justify the means? We had an international airport, NIS and marketing board. Did the end justify the means for 3,000 Grenadians to go in jail? For over 300 Rastas to end up in the cow pen? That is how the Rasta man call it, the cow pen. But Bishop and them call it the Hopeville, and we call it Hopeville. For broker to be castrated. Culture, call us back and tell us if you found Mackenzie's body to bury him. And the day they arrested about 100 from Montreach, one of them died. Tell us, culture. You are wrong and you're defending, and you know when you challenge me, you must bring facts. I like the historicity. And that's why I tell you, ask Tillman Thomas. When I say something about the revolution, if you don't agree with me, go and ask Tillman Thomas. He was in jail, you know. Ask Kennedy Boudlal. Ask Leslie Phillip. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, Mrs. Sister, welcome.
Yes. Yes, there was so many atrocities and so many bad things happened during this period, the revolutionary period. Besides the jailing of these people, well, one caller talked about what they did to how they spread the rumors about Gary and all this kind of thing. And we have to also remember the number of people who died. You know, sometimes we forget about the number of people who died during that period. For example, that tragedy in Plains with Steve Lalcy, the Courtney guy, Andy Courtney, the Stanislaus brothers, there was another one. There was this one from Montrose here, Ivan Charles. All these atrocities and these deaths, you know, what because of this whole revolution and because of Bishop and them and all the stupid kind of ideology that they spread. And so people they had a kind of hyper. Whoever they were, whether the PRA or they were so hypered. And a lot of people died during that period. I don't know if there is any kind of statistics to show the number of people who died senselessly during that time. But I don't know. Somehow I still wonder why people, you know, kind of big up and talk about the revolution. There was more negativity than positive things during the revolution. And we can't get away from that.
Yes, scholar, thank you. And we need to talk about it. I will even challenge any women organization in Grenada, including Gino. You have been extremely silent about the treatment of the women that was arrested during the revolution. Some of them begged for water to bathe. Even during the normal physiological phenomenon. And the exploits of... Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, today we... Welcome, caller.
Yeah, the Yankees, no. The Americans that we...
Culture man.
We loved it. The Americans, they changed the flag and they put it on some other building and they regard them in wherever they want. The Americans bomb up the place and who thinking the Americans who we say we love it, they do the most damage inside here. They change up the flag and they put it on what building thinking now is some like the headquarters, whatever, you know what I mean? Eh? Mr. Pierre, get fact straight. The Americans do a lot of damage because for me the revolution was good because it have People who could never go in the bank, transaction, read and write. Because I used to go in Bel government school, night school. In Tivoli school again, night school. You have a lot of people come out educated there. Now I mean, some of them own business, because Maurice Bishop educate them. I wanted to speak all about that. Don't put out, Maurice was coward and he lied. I get that here. Where is the island gas? Mr. Pierre, you have a good day, man.
Thank you, my brother. It's going to take a lot of years. It's going to take a lot of years for us to accept and utter the truth. And this is why I will challenge Gino and any woman organization in Grenada to speak about the treatment of women under Maurice Bishop reign. And don't come and tell me about the law for family planning. That was a smokescreen for the brutality and the rape of some women that was arrested. We must talk about that. Because you see, the Prime Minister said nothing has been achieved since 1983. And the purpose of starting the celebration on the bloodiest day in our history is a distraction. But I always believe when Monkey writes his story, Monkey always right. But we must look at the historicity of the history. We must look at the historicity of the history. Now we're jumping up. Columbus is a damn blasted liar. Because the European wrote the story and we accept it. So today, we're writing a story and we want our children to accept it. Maurice Bishop claimed that they found the album with Gary and his exploit with women, basin blood, pictures with dog involved. And women's name was identified with that. Some of them couldn't stay in Grenada. They leave the country. They blacken people's name. And Grenadians say, and then Maurice Bishop hide behind women and children. For hours, they had women on the fort. They knew they was rearming themselves and preparing for war. Any hero would have released the women and children, ordered them to leave. Any hero in war, men beg and plead to save women and children. Go back and read any war. They beg and plead to save women and children. Maurice Bishop hid behind women and children. And those who purporting the glorious revolution, they want to hide that from you. Do research. That is why I don't encourage my children to waste time with the history they're teaching in school. They're lying. They're telling lies. You come out, you have A in history in school. Do some research. Go and speak to the Rastafarians. I went to a function. I saw a number of the elderly ones with a back bend, with their head raised to the sky as they beating the drum and shouting. It seems to me they know they have lost the war, but they will die like heroes. Why did Maurice Bishop treat the Rastafarians like that? What was the justification? These people were the poor of the poor. They live in little huts and shanty. He smoked weed with them. He eat the ital food. He eat food in Aibashi that was cooked in Aibashi. And he promised them to legalize weed. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
I just come from the garden, but on my way down with the vehicle, I heard he was asking about somebody in the crew shoe, some lessee. Mr. Lincoln Leslie was the man name.
That's the one from Rosehill, Montreach?
No, this one was from Crofu.
Lincoln Leslie.
The man in Freedom Street.
Yes. That is one of the men Maurice Bishop said to go and spread rumor to. The cook, Lincoln Leslie, and a third person, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But the guy told his cook, but he never go to Lincoln Leslie. He went to Butler House.
Yeah.
And he reported that Maurice Bishop is spreading rumor.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing is that Cultureman talking about Maurice Bishop built airport. The airport plan came up with Eric Matthew Gary.
But we have to give Bishop regime that.
Yes, we're going to give him credit for it. But you know, they bashed Gary about it. I was in a meeting in Simon's Pavilion, the old pavilion.
The People's Court.
Yeah, where Kakadimo Grant was the chairman, Kenrick Radix, Philip Whiteman, and a lot of other speakers were there. And they were asking people from Calais, Westerhall, Monjaloo, Tongue of St. George to go out and demonstrate against Bishop building an airport in Point Selling.
Gary building an airport.
Gary building an airport down there because they wouldn't have night or day when the big jets are roaming over. They wouldn't be able to sleep. So come out and demonstrate against Gary building an airport down there. They bash Gary about it. In the long run, 6 months after the revolution, you could hear them saying, "We're the friendly people of where and where and where we are getting an international airport at Point Selling." That is what they always do. When they don't want something under you, they bash it. But when they come in, they accept it. They do. That is why same thing they're doing to Kit Mitchell. They bash it so, and they bash it so, and when they come into power, they take it over. And they say, "This is ours. This is mine. The idea, everything is ours." Thank you, Mr. Penn.
Yes, caller, welcome. Call again. We walk away from the Rastafarians. We walk away from the Rastafarians. Bustamante in Jamaica treated the Rastafarians and the Maroons very, very badly. Maurice Bishop imitated the same thing. He sleep with them. He eat ital food. He smoke weed with them. He eat the food from the Aibashi. He promised them he go legalize weed. He came to the Holy Spirit. He tell them plant weed. Some baldhead ask him, if I plant one weed in my father land, you know how much tree that will be? My father have over 100 acres of land. Maurice Bishop said, just don't cut down cocoa and nutmeg, but you could plant weed. And then Fargo take 2 years in jail, and he lock up the man with the Red Rover. And they abandoned 3 children in the woods. A hunter meet them. He said they cover with mosquito. But I tell him they don't cover with mosquito. Maybe 200 mosquito around them. 3 of them. 2 girls and 1 boy. Culture, call me and tell me the name. You know the name. Call me and tell me Culture the name. Culture man know them. He still prepare not to face the truth. You see, if we want to write history book, we must not do like the Europeans. Don't tell lies. Don't tell lies. Don't write lie in a book. That is why I do not encourage my children to study history in school. It's a bag of lie. Study your family history. Those writers, when Monkey write his story, Monkey always write. Why did Maurice Bishop evoke the Angola option? What is the Angola option? Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, you want me to call her? When I call her,
yes.
You
Go ahead, caller. Tell me who is the 3 children.
No, let me go back to that 1979.
Tell me who is the 3 children, Culture.
Tell
me who is the 3 children.
No, Mr. Pierre, you put in your program just like whatever. No.
Culture man.
Mr. Pierre,
is it true? That
Tivoli Junction, right when Mr. Terry have its shop there. Who had a building there? There was a boat shop. And Russell, this is Russell had the place where you have now. Code on them. And who? They travel and set as school children. And they come up in Tivoli. And they mash up all this is Russell thing. They throw all his what? All his music on them. Turn up all them things on them inside there. Throw this day, throw that day, throw everything. And on Tivoli, Bangui, Pascal line up to the church. Code on them. They line up all the soldiers on them there to get who they are to get and to bring them in. So, Mr. Maurice Bishop did not hide behind no school children. Right in I will repeat again. Right in Tivoli Junction was an evening time. This is born at Coro, whatever, you know what I mean? He died, whatever now. He and them and them come up with a set of bunch of high school children. They march from where to come up in Tivoli Junction. They go in, this is Russell Place, which is Kennedy Bullard brother. I was there. You check, I was there. You check, we have to move from behind the building and go up in the top to go up in our home out there to protect ourselves. They took all, mash up all Russell player, all these things on them. Soft drink case, carrot case, all kind of things. Code on them. What do he and Hassan on them? Because they didn't want Maurice to go forward with the country. Because the young them say Grenada is too small to have a national airport. You check? But we have mine. That same code on them. So Maurice Bishop did not hide behind school children, or he did travel school children from Tong or wherever. It's code on them. I could tell you that. Them what get rid of Tivoli.
So tell me now if it is true. Tell me if it is true.
Code on them, and even that same Ronnie Bob, what they did. That same Ronnie Bob fight the revolution with us the Tivoli. Ronnie Bob used to drive the Pierre van. You know why he turned back and say, Tivoli people don't ready. That's what Ronnie Bob say. Listen, all of them so was spy. Them so was CIA, communists. That same Ronnie Bob, wherever he was and he passed away. You know? So when you come and tell about history about the about what happened and what happened, I cannot tell you everything now. You just got Tivoli.
Tell us if the truth
is my Tivoli community was my root place. I ever been to Tivoli Borgi.
Culture.
No, I ever been to Tivoli Borgi in the back of the gas
Culture.
Where
Culture.
I hate where people run on the damn revolution. Sorry, man.
Culture.
The revolution was nice. And people who now born yesterday, they want to come and talk about it. Where they was. You have a good day.
Culture, you don't tell me if the three children, the statement I make, if it's true.
How about that?
You know about that.
If I know, I will answer.
Right.
Trust me.
Okay, thank you, my brother. Thank you. You see, that's why I like the rum shop, you know. Once you continue to talk, they have to come out with the truth. The truth does come out. And I believe in the historicity culture. So it was a very tumultuous time. And as I said to you, yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Welcome.
Culture right to say he don't know. What he don't know, he can't give any answer towards that. But let me tell you something. I was not in Grenada at the time of the revolution, but I visited my parents during the revolution.
You have to raise your voice a little.
I visited my parents during the revolution period. When I came to Grenada, from the time I land in Paul's airport, my brothers and sisters told me, be careful how you speak, because according to what you say, you may not go back. I say, is that so? So anyhow, we come down, and when I was returning back to where I came from, I had some US dollars. When I got to the airport, that is Paul's airport again, the security there told me I cannot go back with that money. So I asked, what do you mean by that? No US dollar supposed to leave Grenada. I said, well, I didn't work in Grenada for that. Where I'm going back, there is where I work for it, and there is where it's going to spend. And if I cannot go back with it, I'm not going to leave it and tear it up. And when they see in truth, I tear the first one. And I decide to tear everyone. They say, okay, but next time when you come in, just remember, you can go back with US dollars. I went to St. George's one day, take the bus going back home to my parents' house. A young man who was in the militia stepped in the bus, and accidentally, I have to say, in my opinion, it was accidentally, his feet land on my foot. So I just silently touched him, and I said, don't you feel you mashed something softer than the flooring in the bus? He told me, shut up. If I had my gun out, I'd shoot you. I say, is that so? Just for telling you that, you mashed my foot. You feel you mashed something softer than the flooring. I say, sorry. You tell me if you had shoot me. And it was my cousin, huh? He was in the militia. There was nothing. My husband get killed right in my parents' yard. He sat down on the almond tree in the yard. Immediately as he moved, he get up from the almond tree and a bullet fall right where he was sitting, from between the trees. They don't see who did the shot, but they saw where the shot came from. But they don't see the person. So that alone is to tell you how cruel it was.
Yes, it was a very tough, challenging time for a lot of people in Grenada.
When the revolution took place, my mother called me and she said, girl, I'm glad you wasn't here in Grenada, because if you were in Grenada, you'd have dead, because she don't like military life.
They might have locked you up.
Yeah. And I had my little piece with them when I came. So
yeah, a lot of people went to prison.
Nothing joyous to celebrate about that.
In those days, they say heavy manners. If you say they locking you up. You're calling me? Yes, so these are some of the issues that Grenadians still reluctant to speak about. And some of the... Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, madam.
What culture man talking about? Culture man knows nothing about what he talking, what he see, but he knows nothing about the revolution. Bishop wasn't that nice man. I mean, he get close to me. We was good friends, but he was not that nice fella. He was the forefront of everything. Yes, Code and them used to use him, but he was the forefront, and he used to have to take all the blame for what God. So of course you're talking about code and code and code. Bishop is the head of the whole system. Once he was the leader, you have to take the blame for everything. So he getting on there like, oh, Bishop is this God and this thing. Why he doing that is because he party doing the stupidness they're doing.
Yeah, I think culture only supporting Bishop now because he believe NDC want to ability them.
No, but
I believe culture had to run from grade and everything.
He only talking because the party now have this 19 thing as a
thing. And that's what is sad,
That is what he's jumping up in mouth about, but he's shame. Them sort of hand was shame. He only doing that.
But I always speak about those children, the three children.
It's shame because they put in 19 for the holiday and his NBC. So Bishop and the whatever thing Bishop, that way talking about Bishop this and Bishop that, but don't worry, he don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He talk stupidness. Anyhow, have a good evening.
Yes, so the Angola option, we must talk about it, ask questions. It seems a lot of our journalists don't know about the Angola option. And remember, a lot of the Grenadian communists is in America. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm President Morris Bishop, but you President Kit Mitchell. Go and plan food. Go and plan food. You President Kit Mitchell, and when the American attack, some country go. No, I mean they will think that way. I don't know what I'm talking about. All the white was hiding. If we want to have some of our children, then big work to the 1979 revolution. What have some of our children in today? You check? Boy, you predicted Michelle, but thank you, President Morris Bishop. But now, I don't support anything, and I don't
Culture,
go after
culture,
this kind of 1980.
culture, you're too big for that. Culture, you're too big for that. You know, you're too big for that. Don't do that. You will dilute yourself and the impact you have in it. Yes, scholar. Yes, scholar, welcome. Yes, we speaking about the Angola option. I believe the time is opportune after the 1983 issues and challenge. A number of Grenadians seek reconciliation. They say, let us reconcile. This thing has divided our country too much. Let us make peace. In 2022, we choose a new government, and the government decide to start up restorative justice. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hello, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I find you using your program for culture to come and make a set of confusion with you.
Yeah, just telling me too big for that. But
but the point I'm trying to make, as far as culture speaking, culture is a headless man, culture don't have no head, culture, stop making this kind of thing, culture only spreading out lies, and he keep on coming, and he using your program to, nobody and tolerating culture with all this.
Yeah, but that is, you see, we have to be tolerant in Grenada.
Yes, it's true.
I've seen after the revolution, people box up people, spit on them, mash up their vehicles. And I constantly say we have to be a more tolerant people.
Yeah, but culture man is a headless man. He don't have
We
head.
still have to tolerate the brother.
He don't have no head.
Okay.
He's a headless man.
Okay.
Right.
You see, our country have to be tolerant. And we have to avoid these lies. When a government sit down and plan lies, it's not good. Morris Bishop plan lies. The lie they said that Gary had album with women. You know what it was in 1979? When they called the name of women. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my brother.
Yeah.
You had a good weekend?
Great,
Mr.
man.
Mr. Pierre, listen to me. You see, October 19th, that is the best day for the holiday. You know, we will be declaring that day, October 19th. A day I pray, and we will be starting the celebration with a day I pray. We are abolishing 24th, the 26th. We don't want that. In the 25th, them Americans come here, they killed 42 soldiers, patriotic Grenadians. They kill them. I will never support the holiday. That kingdom come, I will never support the holiday. I will never support a man, a country, come and kill Grenadians and asking us to bow down and celebrate them. That is stupid, that is back on this. I will never do that. Mr. Pierre, you have a good day.
Thank you, my brother. And when we discuss this topic, you expect a lot of different views and a lot of passion. But I say we must speak about it. We must speak about it. Now that Deacon has decided to start up restorative justice. Restorative justice in its practicality is really political vengeance. It is not transformation going on in the country. What is going on is victimization and political vengeance. And at the same time, we start up the 50 years celebration on the bloodiest day in our history. So I think it is opportune time for us to know what is the Angola option all about. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome. You hear that thunder crack? You look at the thunder crack and cut off either the communication or something. We had a loud crack and the thunder and we lost our caller. We might have lost internet too, or communication. We have the internet on. We have been rattled a little. We almost to the end of the program. We hope we're on the air. Yes, we're there. Caller, you there? No, we lost a caller. So it's a good period in time for us to discuss the Angola option. Why is it Maurice Bishop initiated the Angola option? Was it the fact that Maurice Bishop started the process of the Angola option that expedited his own demise? I always say Maurice Bishop was a coward. He hid behind women and children. He planned lies. Eventually, those lies catch up with him. Because he lied to the Politburo. He lied to the Central Committee. Maurice Bishop sat down in a meeting, agreed for the Central Committee to vote. As the leader, then he could have stopped the vote. He agreed for them to vote. The majority of them vote one way. He himself abstained. 3 people supported. Because Maurice Bishop knew the Angola option was already started. Why did Maurice Bishop start the Angola option? I think it's important that these issues be played out. I know many people have never heard about the Angola option. So it's important we start discussing it. We have a number of people in the society that knows about it. And they know that that might have been the biggest reason why the people were executed. It was not because they were martyrs. They didn't die for anybody. They didn't die for people. They didn't die for any cause. Bishop died because he was a coward and a poor manager and self-preservation. He didn't give up his life for nothing of substance. It might be important to find out what happened to the woman in Birchgrove. The one that was murdered under Bishop. We must look back at his history. If we decide to make him a hero, we don't want later to say Columbus is a damn blasted liar. We may as well look at the historicity. No. There is a lot here that can verify it. If you take anything I say about the revolution and you disagree with it, I think Tillman Thomas is a good person to ask. He was in jail. He know. And watch them in the eyes when you ask them. But obviously, when you're discussing this topic, it would evoke a lot of passion. Because some people still like Maurice Bishop. He was a great orator. He was a tall, handsome man. Some women like him a lot. But he treated women very badly. Some women. He treated them very badly. And he could well go down in history as the Grenadian leader who treated some Grenadian women the worst after slavery and colonialism. No other political leader in Grenada have been accused of taking advantage on women as Maurice Bishop. You know what it was to falsely accuse women of ending up in pictures naked, making movie with dogs, with basin of blood? You know what it was for the name of those women in those days? And for the members of the family? Could you imagine if today somebody accused you or your daughter, or your sister, or your friend for making movies naked with basin of blood? And Bishop said, we have the tape, we have the tape. We will show it in good time. And thousands of people in Grenada and the outside world believe. That was Maurice Bishop. He lied to the people. He lied to the Rastafarians. He lied to the Politburo. And he lied to the Central Committee. And I believe his demise was facilitated and speed up because he evoked the Angola option. And his opponents then feared the Angola option more than anything else in the world. Perhaps we need a discussion to find out what is the Angola option. A lot of them knew. A lot of the hardline communists is in America and the United States and Canada. If you're in the diaspora, ask them why they feared the Angola option so much. Or perhaps you might have to go back and study the historicity. We need the information, you know. And I think we need to hold those discussions among the younger people in this country. Maybe if Deacon Mitchell and his group of individuals wasn't so quick to try to plagiarize, to benefit from the popularity of others, they might have looked twice. But we come to the end of our program. We don't know who lost out as a result of the thunder cracking and etc. But we're back with you again tomorrow, God's will, for another program of On Target.